In light of everything that's happened over the past couple months, in fact over the course of this madman's reign, I want to ask the question, is there an upside to Donald Trump's presidency? Is Donald Trump a catalyst for change? Now don't get me wrong, this does not mean that I support Trump. I know full well he's a racist, xenophobe and a pathological liar. I already stated that in a previous video I made on why he should not be elected. But as an outside observer, I can see that there is a little upside to this Neanderthal's presidency. Now, of course, you would say that the small positives of this presidency does not outweigh the negatives, and I would agree, but it is an interesting question. Since Donald Trump took office, there's been a strong opposition from the left, as they are now united in resisting this administration. The centrist left and the anti-establishment left seem to, for now, have set aside their differences. Had this been 7 years ago, you would have expected people on the left to oppose a Republican president. But this time it's different. Why, you ask? It's because there's an ever-growing side of the Democrats, the anti-establishment side, much like here in the UK with Jeremy Corbyn. Well, they're really pissed off with the Democrat Party, mainly because, in my opinion, Bernie Sanders was robbed of being their party's presidential candidate, as WikiLeaks proves that the primary election was rigged. Donald Trump has united the left and some on the right, mainly because of his fucking insane ideas on repealing Obamacare. His backwards immigration policies, for example, what he's planning to do with the DACA program, his Muslim ban, and so on. Though I suspect Donald Trump is going to have his tax plan passed, mainly because it has the support of some Democrats. Trump also indirectly made the left outside of the US stronger because we saw how insane the right can get. People didn't want to see it here, and probably throughout the rest of Europe. During the rise of the far right last year, we all thought it was going to spread everywhere like the fucking plague. When you see results like Brexit, which by the way I saw coming, and Trump's election, I was personally just sitting here, bracing myself, waiting to see what other nutjob right-winger was going to be elected. Thankfully, in the Holland election earlier this year, Geert Wilders, the leader of the far-right Dutch Freedom Party and a known Islamophobe, was not elected, and the same was in the French presidential election where Marine Le Pen was defeated by Emmanuel Macron, although I think she was elected to the National Assembly. Another upside to Trump's presidency is that he brought to light people's disdains for the establishment, so much so that he got elected. Donald Trump is a celebrity, a man who's been bankrupted several times. He's a con man and clearly not respected in the business world. But people were so desperate and wanted radical change that they voted for this bigot and rejected Hillary Clinton, who clearly was representing Wall Street. Now, don't get me wrong, most of Donald Trump's supporters are racist. I have no doubts about that, and calling them deplorables is accurate. However, there's a small section of his supporters that aren't racist and were so desperate for change they believe Donald Trump about putting America first, creating jobs, and improving Obamacare. He went as far as saying, and I quote, "Everybody's going to be taken care of," which, by the way, like a typical conman, he said whatever he had to get the votes. Donald Trump ran as an anti-establishment candidate, and unfortunately, Hillary Clinton was never the right opponent. Now, of course, there was an element of sexism as to why she was not elected. However, though she was incredibly more qualified than Trump, it was her political track record that made her unpopular. Yes, you can say it was due to right-wing propaganda, like the Benghazi incident, but it was also her history with Wall Street. As I said before, people on the left and on the right were sick and tired of the status quo, sick of politicians being controlled by Wall Street and their donors. In my opinion, Hillary Clinton didn't inspire people. Maybe young girls aspiring to be president, but they can't vote. From what I could see, people only voted for her because they were either Democrat supporters or voting against Trump. Rarely did I hear people voting for Hillary Clinton because of her policies. The only politician that could have beaten Trump was Bernie Sanders, currently the most popular politician in the US. As expected, Trump has proven to be nothing but an establishment president. Latest evidence is his continuation of the war in Afghanistan. Also, just by looking at his cabinet says it all. Hopefully, Trump supporters who care about draining the swamp will look to the left and vote for Bernie Sanders or other progressive politicians, although there's only a few of them. As of right now, they're fighting for Medicare for all. Another upside to this administration is that Donald Trump is single-handedly destroying the GOP. Like a suicide bomber, he's just gone over there and blew up the Republican Party. If there was any doubts before, there is no doubts now. The Republican Party is the party of racists, So the idea that anyone identifies as a Republican because they're fiscally conservative is long gone. You vote for the Republican Party, you're voting for the whole package, making you a greedy racist. So any plans that the Republican Party had to try build a better relationship with minorities and young people have been thrown out the window because of Donald Trump. Another way Donald Trump is destroying the Republican Party and himself is by attacking Republican senators, for example, John McCain. So if he continues to target Republican senators that are up for election next year, who knows, they may lose their seats if his supporters turn on them. Also, by attacking Republican senators, he won't have any protections from impeachment if the Trump-Russia investigation proves he colluded with Russia. So it looks like it could be a win-win. The federal system seems to be resisting and checking Trump's power well enough. For example, two federal judges, one is a federal judge from Hawaii and another one is from Maryland, a place I've never heard of before. Well, they've blocked Trump's travel ban, which is really a Muslim ban, saying it's unconstitutional. However, the Supreme Court reinstated Trump's travel ban, but only for some immigrants. State power is being shown as some are opposed to Trump's travel ban and immigration policies, which is why they have their own sanctuary cities. And finally, with Trump's racist outbursts at NFL players who are taking the knee to protest against police brutality, and the events of Charlottesville just over a month ago, highlights the fact that Trump is a white supremacist, plus the fact that he defended them, in as far as saying that there were good people in that group. Remember, that was a Klan's rally. Despite that, it does have me thinking, would people be calling for the Confederate statues to be taken down had Hillary Clinton won the election? I honestly don't think so. I don't remember there being a protest to tear down Confederate statues when Obama was in charge, or maybe I was not paying attention. Donald Trump's election exposes the fact that there are a large section of the US population that is racist. And if there is an American that's made it this far into the video, please leave a comment and explain to me why there are even Confederate statues to begin with. Aren't they supposed to be the people that tried to break away from the US and fight to keep slavery? Comment and explain to me how traitors have their own statues. I'm from the UK, so maybe the criteria of being a traitor is different over there. In short, Donald Trump will go down as the worst president in US history. Students in the future will learn about him and they'll be thinking, how the fuck was this imbecile elected to begin with? However, there is a silver lining to this Neanderthal's presidency, and that comes in the form of the people resisting him, continuing the anti-establishment, anti-corruption movement as it grows ever stronger, and also to have a politician that really represents the people, that wants to spread the wealth, stop big corporations from buying your politicians in order to get tax cuts, and politicians that really want to improve the healthcare system. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think by leaving a comment below. If you like the video, then leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channels for more videos like this.